Hi guys, this is the Betamax man. This is a customer's machine. So the customer's complaint, this is a 7250. This is a Super Beta hi-fi stereo machine that was made by Sanyo. These are very reliable machines, very dependable machines. So we'll do a full service on this thing, but for right now, in this video, we're going to go ahead and take a look at it and see what's wrong. Customer's complaint is that it eats tapes. He also says that sometimes when he's playing a tape, he'll be watching a movie, and he says about midway into the movie, the thing just shuts off and then eats his tape. So this is probably, I know 100% that for sure it's going to need a idler tire, it's going to need new belts, and it may need to have some capacitors replaced. I do not know for sure, so let's get into it. Let's plug it in and let's go ahead. We're going to take a look at it and see what's wrong with it. The customer does not want me to do too much to it. He wants to know what's wrong with it and how much it's going to cost. So this video, we're going to do a diagnostic. I am going to go ahead and just put in a new idler tire, just so that I can get it up and going. I want to see if there's any other problems. There's probably going to be some capacitors that are not working 100%. In the head amplifier, these machines sometimes can suffer from capacitors going bad on both the head amplifier and the video board. They also have an issue sometimes when you record with them. They record in black and white. So, but we'll address those issues after we get set in. So I'm going to go ahead and take the screws off. I'm going to plug it in, and then we're going to take a look at it, okay? So I plugged it in. The timer is stuck on. These buttons aren't working. The button is jammed up underneath this plate, so we have to pull the front faceplate off and then put it back on properly, because the customer has definitely been in this thing himself. So we have to get that timer switched off before I can do anything. Okay, so we got the faceplate off. I've turned the timer off. So we'll go ahead and plug it back in, and then we'll see what else it does. Because the customer has definitely been into this machine, and it looks like one of the knobs here has come off or broke. So yeah, he's got that on wrong too. So let's take care of that, and then we'll power it back on. Okay, so we've got the power back on here, and now I can go ahead and insert the tape, and we'll see what's going on. So he has had issues with the tape. Well, the idler is not even moving. You can see the slack in the cassette. Yeah. His motor's not working either, so. So my first diagnosis right now is going to be new idler tire, and he's going to need new belts. And I'm not sure if I have any belts. I probably have some used ones that I could put on temporarily to get this thing up and going. As you can see, the tape is definitely eaten, and this is a direct drive motor for the idler, but we could have some bad capacitors because sometimes there's a circuit board that controls the real table motor, basically sends voltage to the idler motor, and sometimes those caps can go bad and they can cause this symptom even with a brand new tires and belts. It could still do this even with that because of the issue with caps. But caps are not always what's wrong with it, but caps do go out quite a bit, so they can cause issues. So I think what I want to do is let's get this thing unplugged and let's open. I'm going to take this top plate, we're going to pull it off so that we can get to the idler assembly. So we're just gonna simply unplug it, and let's go ahead and pull the screws off of the side here, and I hope they're not stripped out because sometimes they get stripped out. It looks like he's been into this thing already, so because the screws are loose, so that tells me he's been in here. So that first sign that he'd been into this machine was where the timer button was on and it was underneath the plate, so you couldn't move the button because he put the front piece back on wrong. And these are actually not the correct screws either, so he's got the screws in wrong, so we're gonna have to get the proper ones in here. But he doesn't want to spend a lot. He wants to try to keep the bill under $100, and I think that I might be able to do that for him, but he may end up paying a little bit more depending on what's going on. But first thing we have to do is we do have to get the idler working, and so that we can find out if there's other issues. So we're going to use my other screwdriver. This one will get right in there but I need to get that loose. Oh, that's the first thing we're going to do. We're going to get this stuff loose here. Let's see. He probably couldn't get into the... I might have to go find me a better screwdriver to get in here, because I can't get in here with the screwdrivers that I'm using. So I will be right back, and we'll get these two. I need to get these two screws off, and it looks like he might have stripped them out. So if he stripped them out, I'm going to have a hell of a time getting them out. Okay, now I can get into the idler. So the first thing that we have to do is we've got to take one of these pieces out in order to get that tire off. So it looks like the tire is definitely rock hard. That tire is definitely needing to be replaced. So we're going to replace that because sometimes you can replace the tire and that'll solve it from not unthreading. It's not unthreading the tape because of the idler. So it may not be because of the belt, it's probably because of the idler. Now these machines are incredibly reliable, especially because they only need belts and tires. Sometimes they need caps, but a lot of times if you put new belts and tires into these old Sanyos, and especially the beta ones, they operate again. So let's get that off of here, and we've got to pull this out. I'll get my little dental pick here. I forgot I gotta take that spring off before I can do anything else. But I might be able to just lift it up here without. There we go. There's that piece. We'll just take that out, and then this will simply oh yeah, we gotta take that reel too. We gotta take that reel off as well. It's been a while since I've been into one of these, so I forget. Okay, that'll come right out. So now we can pull the assembly out. I don't know why I had such a hard time getting that little bastard out, but alright. Now, I do have this is a VCR idler tire assembly. And this is just tires. These are all different size tires, and they cost me around $50, but it's worth it because it'll do multiple machines. So I think the one that we're after is right here. This is the number 0. So it's the number 400/080. OB is 0.695. ID is 0.520, and the wall is 0.130. So if you're looking for a tire to fit, that's what they are. So, and I'm just going to match it up just to see that this is the correct tire. And we're going to look at the other tire is completely shot. I mean, it has definitely got hardened. It's not in real bad shape, but it's definitely rock hard on the outside. So that's why there was no why it wasn't working. So we'll just simply put a new one on here. So we've got a brand new tire that we're going to put on. I'm going to get my little dental pick because the dental picks can be your friend. Especially when you're repairing this stuff, so. You gotta get it in there without any twisting or anything like that. So make sure it's nice and straight and flush. And it's now got a nice, soft, pliable tire that is now going to probably restore the mechanical part of it. And we'll look and see if there's any other things that we may need to do. Sometimes they do need caps in the video board. Sometimes with the recording in black and white, that can be the chroma processing board has a bad cap or something, so that can happen. So let's get this back in now because we got a brand spanking new tire on there. I can only do 8 more machines. They had like a set of 10 tires. They were supposed to be a set of 20, but the seller opened it and used some of them, so he sold me what was remaining in the. I didn't mind because those are extremely hard to find and they're really expensive to buy one on eBay. It's like $80, $100. Some people wanted like $80. This guy wanted $70, and I think I've talked him down to $50. And there we go. Now that one's in good, so we'll go ahead and put the reel back on. And we'll get this. Looks like there's some washers that are missing for the bottom here, but looks like the switch is bent. Switch for the insertion of the tape, so we're gonna have to straighten that out. Good thing I seen that, because then I could straighten it out, but not too much pressure because you'll break it. But let's get this back on here. Alright, let's get that on there, and a little dental pick here. Okay guys, so we've got that taken care of. Yeah, that washer is supposed to be on the bottom here. There we go. I forgot to put that washer back in there, so just make sure it spins nice and free. And we'll go ahead and put these pieces back into place. We'll put this washer back on. There we go. And we'll get this back on. So your dental pick is your friend, because when you're putting some of these screws and stuff back on, you gotta put the spring back on, and they can be a little bit difficult. So the dental pick is required. I recommend having a dental pick because you can put springs and stuff back on easier. I've seen people use like screwdrivers and stuff, and I've seen people use like different things, different methods, like pencils and stuff. One guy had on YouTube, he took a pencil and tried to use it to put his spring back onto place. I'm gonna get my little needle nose pliers and we'll get that back in. Okay, we've got the spring on into place here. I'm just making sure that everything is put back in properly. Now we're gonna get our, we gotta get our cut washer. Put our cut washer back on. Alright, now we've got a cut washer for the idler. So we'll put that on there. There we go. Just snap that back on in there. Let's get two tools to snap that back into place here. There we go. Okay. Alright, let's get that, let's get it powered on here, and we'll see what she does. Alright, let's see what she'll do now. And I'm sure she's going to play a tape now, so. I'm going to take over here. So. Okay. Play. Okay. She's playing a tape. There's a little bit of a slack issue. It's not quite, the tape tensioner is not quite doing its job. So we just need to re-lube that tape tensioner because it's not applying very much tension on it. But okay, so it's no longer eating tapes, and I just popped my spring off because I forgot to hold the thing into place. So we gotta pop that spring back on real quick, and this machine, we'll see in just a couple minutes here. I'll put this spring back on There's a, this is a little guide here, and it moves up and down when the tape is inserted and exits. So, get a little needle nose because the just get the spring back on here. Let's go ahead and we'll hook up some video output here, and let's see if we can get a picture on this machine, and we'll see what happens here. Because we got the mechanical problem taken care of, but we might still have a issue with the electrical. So I'm going to go ahead and we'll put the tape in, and this is going to need to be, we're going to have to take care of that cassette housing too, because it's not quite pushing the tape all the way down like it should. So where's play? Okay, we do have a picture. We don't have a very good picture, but we do have a picture. Let me adjust the tracking here. Okay. We do have a picture. It's not very good. Actually, it's quite poor. So we need to work on that, because that's not good at all. That's terrible. So we have an electrical issue as well. It's probably the head amplifier is going to be responsible for the bad picture, but let me try another tape, because it's always good to try different tape. I have a factory Indiana Jones that we're going to put in, now that I know it's not going to eat it. Okay, let's try this one and see what happens here. Okay, yeah, it's okay. It's better, but it's not very good. So we need to look into the head amplifiers. But let's just clean the heads, because crap, I just popped my spring back off again, dang it. So we'll just go ahead and I'm going to put the spring back on again. We'll put this top piece back on, and I'll put the front back on, and then we'll be right back. Okay, so we're going to clean the heads, because that's probably why we have a bad picture. It could be that the head amplifier will need to be worked on, and that could be the case. But always try to clean the heads first to see, because you don't want to be replacing caps just to replace caps. You only replace them if they need replaced. So let's just try the simplest thing first. Alright, now we'll just put the Yeah, there's quite a bit of dirt on that. So let's get another piece here. Yeah, quite a bit of dirt on the heads actually. So that's probably why it was poor quality picture, because if we got heads that are dirty, it can cause either poor picture quality or it can cause no picture at all. And in this case, it was just poor picture quality. But let's go ahead. We want to do that until it's clean. So I'm just going to do this until the paper comes up clean. So there we go. Take another piece just to dry the... I'm going to go ahead and just clean the head drum with a Q-tip here. But I just want to make sure that this is dry. Okay. So I want to use a Q-tip to clean the audio head, the control track. The whole tape path needs to be cleaned with alcohol. We're also going to have to take the tape guide, and we'll have to spray some cleaner in there and get some cleaner in there so that this tape guide will apply the proper tension, because it's not applying very good tension. So okay. You never know. Sometimes the simplest things like cleaning is what's needed. So these belts actually feel nice and soft and pliable, but I am going to go ahead and recommend to the seller that we go ahead and replace those belts, even though they're still kind of soft and they might be okay. This is a customer's machine, so I need to replace the belts. Even if I don't feel they quite need a replacement, I'm going to do it, because we're going to make sure that it works further down the line. Because if you don't do the job properly, it'll come back to bite you in the ass. So that's, wow, that was a lot of dirt off there. I got a lot of dirt off of all the audio and control track head. And I am going to do some checking. I'm going to check, you know, some of these capacitors to make sure that they are good and don't need to be replaced. Some of them may need to be replaced. I don't know yet, so we just gotta, but at least I got it to where it's now working, and we got no problems as far as the mechanical aspect of it. But yeah, so I'm gonna order some belts for this thing, and then we're gonna put new belts in, and I'm gonna go ahead and check the capacitors on the video board and check them in the head amplifier. And I think that'll conclude my repair. So I think that'll be fine now. So let's just clean these little posts, because they If they're dirty, the tape will squeal. Yeah, we just want to make sure that we're doing a thorough job here. So, and yeah, the little tape guides are not clean, and they will squeal. We'll go ahead and do the clean that pinch roller here. Okay. Alright, let's put a tape in now, and we'll just see. Yeah, let's put a tape in here. Might help if I plug it in though. Alright, there we go. Okay, so this is recording in beta 3. This is one of the old tapes that I had got. One of the machines, the guy sent me a bunch of tapes, so I just made them into test tapes. Some of them do have some vintage commercials on them, which I will get off. But let's check. So we got the playback okay. The picture's good now. The picture is actually fine. So I don't see anything wrong with the picture. It's just dirty heads. Also the, tape guides and stuff, and the head amplifier. The tape guides needed to be cleaned. The audio and control track head, and of course the video head. And I put 2 pieces of paper before I got the heads clean. So this is at the ending of the movie, so I'm going to stop it, and we're just making sure that there's no issues with rewinding or fast forwarding. Also want to make sure that it's not eating the tape. So that motor sounds nice and strong. I'm just going to rewind this tape back a little ways. And it does have good, strong motor. So we wound it about halfway. I'm just going to go ahead and we'll hit play here. These belts are so soft that I'm thinking that maybe he might have, it's possible he might have replaced that belt. This one down here is not feeling all that great, so maybe he just changed one belt, or somebody changed a belt in it and thought that that was going to restore it, and it didn't, because the idler tire, of course, was completely dried out. It was bad, so. But the picture is good, and it is playing back just fine. And we need to go ahead and I'm just going to do a check here. So the reasoning for replacing the belts is to make sure that this machine is going to work for a long time. Okay, so one thing that I can do is I can do, I am going to contact him. I'm going to let him know what the price is going to be. And I'm going to recommend to him that we replace all the belts. I'm going to do some cleaning and re-lubricating some of these parts, some of these gears. Basically, I'm going to do a full service because these gears need to be cleaned and re-greased. We need to apply just a little bit of grease to this worm gear here. Apply just a little bit to the cassette housing. And that should get this machine to where it should last for a long time. Because the video heads on this machine are very good. And it was just dirty heads that was causing some of the issues. So I am going to unplug it now, and we're going to take a... I don't think I'll need to do any replacing of the capacitors, but I might check the I'm just going to do some checks on some of this, but it really doesn't need anything else except for just it needs some new belts, and I think that's basically all that it needs. And then it needs to have the cleaning and re-lubricate everything. So cleaning the old grease off, putting new grease on. I mean, this thing should be fine. I'm just gonna go ahead and let's see if we can do I think maybe we'll do a test recording and see if we'll see if this thing will record. Yeah, I could do that. I could test it, and we can do a test. We could do a test recording. I do have some tapes that are, I do have a couple blanks here that I could use here. I think I've got one here. I've got a, that's not blank though. Let me get a blank one. See, I have a blank one somewhere. Here we go. Here's a tape that we can use. So we'll just put, we'll do a video input, and I'll show you the quality of the picture here. Let me go to the TV and I'll show you the quality of the picture, because it does have good quality picture. So we'll go ahead and we'll do that. And I will put a set of I'll put some inputs. And just hit play. So there's the picture quality. It's quite good. I don't want to show too much because YouTube will copyright me, so I'm only going to show, you know, like part of the image. I can show that. That way I can show you the quality without YouTube copyright infringement, because YouTube does that. If you have a picture of your TV screen for too long, YouTube calls it copyright infringement. So, but the Beta Hi-Fi is lighting up, and we have both of the U meters are working, and there's no issues. So we got the record level right in the center. This volume adjustment is actually just for record level. So this is for the volume of the input. So if you go too high, it'll distort the audio. So you want to keep it. I usually, if I'm going to go up on the volume, I'll go up to like number 7. That way you're getting a little bit more sound quality, but you're not going so high that you're going to distort the audio when you make a recording. But I'm going to put it back on number 5, because that's the setting that it's supposed to be on. So let's go ahead and we'll make a test recording on this thing real quick, and we'll see what the record quality is like. The only bad thing about these particular Sanyos is that, like most Sanyos, they cannot play back Beta 1. And it is a Super Beta, and it will not play back Beta 1S or anything, but it'll play back Beta 2 and 3. It won't do Beta 1 at all. So I think Sanyo should have made these things not only play Beta 1, but I think they should have made them play Beta 1 high band. And maybe, I don't know why they decided not to make it play Beta 1. I mean, it just doesn't make sense, but that's the only thing about the Sanyo Super Beta Hi-Fi that I didn't like. And most of the Sanyos won't play Beta 1. However, if you have a Sanyo 4020, it'll play back the original Beta 1. If you have a 4027, it will actually play back Beta 1S. So it's, you know, one of these machines. This was like supposed to be the high-end machine back in the day, and it really wasn't, you know. But anyway, let's do the test recording, and then we'll show you the quality. We'll just input a DVD, and we'll record off of it. So I've got an input source, so we're just going to do a little test recording off of a Blu-ray disc. This is a B movie, and animated movies are actually the best for record testing, because they have a lot of colors and a lot of brightness. So recordings off of these look really, really good. So let's go ahead and do that. And who knows, we may have a issue with black and white when we record. So let's go ahead and insert this. I'm just going to fast forward it just a little bit, because then we'll put the counter on, and then we'll make a recording. So this is loading. So we'll get our remote here. I wonder if this thing is going to record properly, or is it going to record in black and white? Now, if it records in black and white, I can let the seller know that it's not recording properly, and I can repair it. But he may not want that. He may just want it strictly for playback. That's usually what people want these things for, is playback. They usually don't care about recording with it, because most people, I'm probably one of the very rare people who do still record on videotape. So let's go to the scene selection, and we're just gonna go with number 2, and we'll hit the record. So it's recording now, and I can't show too much of it because of the copyright infringement. The screen is actually blanking, so I don't know why it's doing that, but this particular player has been developing an issue when it's being run out with RCA, and it might be because the HDMI cable is hooked up to it and as well, so it's probably switching between HDMI and RCA, because I think I have to have the HDMI unplugged so that it doesn't do that. But let's go ahead, we'll record this for just a little while, and then we'll rewind it back, and we'll play it back, and we'll see what it does. So okay, so we're gonna go ahead and play it back. So it's recording in black and white, so that is going to be an issue on the Chroma processing board. So that's going to be this board right here, and we can definitely I'm going to tell the customer if he wants to have that part of it working, and if he does, we'll get that replaced. So yeah, there is going to be some bad capacitors that keep it from being able to record, because it is recording in black and white. Now we can fix that issue. That's no big deal, but we'll see what he wants, because sometimes, you know, most of the time these are just being used to play back tapes, and like I said, I'm one of the very few who actually use them to record off television, because Super Beta actually has a very good picture quality. And now I have, well, I have my ED Beta. Oh, and do you guys remember my my 1000D, my SLHF 1000D? I was able to get the part that I needed to repair it, and I had the video of the repair on it, and what it was the voltage regulator had failed, and so I just put a new one in, and now it's working. So I've got an SLHF 1000, I've got an SLHF 1000D, and I've got an EDV7500, which is an ED beta. So I've got 3 machines that perform beautifully, and I love the looks of the 1000D. We'll do a demo video on that, you know, in a little bit, like a little bit later. But I lost the footage of the repair because my computer crashed. But anyway, so we do have it playing back tapes. I'm gonna recommend that we get new belts for it, and I'll ask him, see if he wants to fix the record issue. So this is a brand new tape, so alright. And I'm kinda hoping that he wants to fix the record issue, because it would be nice to do a video on it so that you guys can see why it's doing it, and we can I can show you how to repair this problem if you're having the same issue, because these Sanyos seem to have issues with recording records in black and white. So, but we'll see what it does in my other player. Maybe it'll play in my other player. Well, yeah, it's still going to be in black and white. So, but yeah, we'll see if we can get them to allow me to repair the record issue so that I can do a video on it. And if he doesn't want it done, then we can always find another one of these with the issue and do it for later on. But I don't know. Maybe I'll just fix the issue and not tell him. I'm not going to charge him for fixing the record issue if he doesn't want it fixed. I can still do it so that you guys know what to do. But that'll be it on this video for right now. See you later. Bye-bye.